Hello and welcome to another edition of UK Crime Caught on Camera. In this one, we're looking at fraud crime. A man who posed as a fake rich guy to scam his victims out of massive amounts of money has been jailed. He falsified bank statements claiming he was rich in order to win the trust of his victims, including one of his neighbours. Then, he tricked him into sending him tens of thousands of pounds. He concocted fake companies and made up numerous reasons why he needed their cash. Some of the money was returned to one of the victims, but a significant portion was not. He defrauded others as well and was nabbed by Kent coppers. The conman later pleaded guilty to multiple fraud offences, and he was jailed for 3 years and 2 months after admitting to scamming £50,000 out of his victims. Two men who stole thousands of pounds from small businesses by tricking card machines into giving them a refund instead of paying have been busted by police. The men told shop workers they needed to enter their PIN into card terminals when they were asked to pay for goods. But instead of entering a PIN, they used the card to authorise refunds to several different bank accounts, resulting in more than £5,000 being stolen. The pair admitted 2 counts of conspiring to commit fraud and were sentenced at Bristol Crown Court last October. One was given a 14-month prison sentence, suspended for 18 months, and must carry out 150 hours of unpaid work, while his partner in crime was given a 23-month sentence, suspended for 18 months, and must do 200 hours of unpaid work. A third man also pleaded guilty to the same offences, but failed to attend court for sentencing. A family of rogue traders have been jailed after defrauding elderly residents out of almost £400,000. They held their victims to ransom while carrying out substandard work on homes that wasn't necessary. Police said the trio charged residents extortionate prices and made them fear what would happen if they didn't repay the hefty sums. Officers from Cheshire Police began investigating their operations in 2022, using the group's finances and communications to link them to their crimes. 2 pleaded guilty to fraud by false representation and money laundering, with one getting 6 months in prison and another being jailed for 27 months. Another individual pleaded guilty to the same offences and was sentenced to 18 months in prison. An insurance fraudster who faked a disability to claim nearly £500,000 in compensation was caught out after appearing on The Jeremy Kyle Show. The con woman said she could not walk unaided and claimed damages worth nearly £500,000 after a car crash in 2014. But CCTV footage gathered by investigators and police showed her strolling for hours. And she also appeared as a guest on The Jeremy Kyle Show in 2017 and 2018, where she walked, stood, and ran across the stage unaided. She admitted fraud at Sheffield Crown Court last year and was handed a 12-month jail term, suspended for 18 months, in order to pay £500 in compensation. The judge described her decision to go on The Jeremy Kyle Show as extraordinarily stupid. A detective from City of London Police said, "It was astounding that she told medical professionals she could not walk unaided, but then appeared on national television doing just that." A serial fraudster repeatedly changed his name by date poll to make £75,000 worth of bogus travel claims. He even used the identities of his friends and family to make the fraudulent claims. The con man took out 13 travel insurance policies with 5 different firms and made bogus claims for lost luggage and money against them. The case was referred to City of London Police's Insurance Fraud Enforcement Department in February 2020 by LV General Insurance. He ultimately pled guilty at Inner Crown Court last January to 10 counts of fraud by false representation. The conman was sentenced at the Royal Courts of Justice in March 2024 to 20 months imprisonment, suspended for 2 years. He was ordered to complete 200 hours of unpaid work and a 30-day rehabilitation activity requirement. A Ferrari-driving conman was nabbed by cops after more than 5 years on the run. He fled the UK during his trial in 2018, after he was caught running a number of lucrative frauds. The Playboy criminal hid out in Dubai after a £500,000 number plate scam and even taunted police through social media. He posted pictures of himself living a life of luxury, driving Ferraris, meeting celebrities, and being a philanthropist. While on the run in Dubai, he had a Siberian tiger cub, hung out with famous rapper Busta Rhymes, and smashed a 30 grand Rolex. All the while, he was a con man guilty of property crimes, fraud, and people smuggling. He was found guilty in his absence and jailed for 10 years at Birmingham Crown Court. Police nabbed him at Manchester Airport in December 2023. He admitted failing to appear at court and was jailed for 4 weeks, after which he will serve his 10-year sentence. The ringleaders of a £5 million tax swindle were jailed after one of our gang was caught on camera joking they'd go down in history if they were caught. The two created bogus invoices to make false VAT returns for construction firms in a sophisticated and complex scam. A fellow conspirator was secretly recorded describing their base office as an Aladdin's cave for fraud investigators. As part of the probe into the operation, HM Revenue and Customs bugged an accountant's office in Belfast and recorded 260 hours of footage. The two ringleaders were jailed for 4 years each after pleading guilty to 2 counts of conspiring to cheat the public revenue and 2 counts of conspiracy to convert criminal property. Another 25 accomplices, most of whom knowingly allowed their personal details to be used as part of the fraud, were handed suspended prison sentences. Undercover police operatives busted scammers who tricked vulnerable elderly people into handing over thousands of pounds. One of those caught was part of a phone scamming ring which persuaded 9 pensioners of the average age of 87 to urgently hand over their bank cards. He would send a runner to collect the card from the victims' homes before the group drained all the money from their accounts. In total, they stole nearly £12,000 over 9 offences between November 2021 and February 2022. When he was arrested, he had directed a runner in the ring to the home of a 101-year-old woman. One victim said the scammers had stolen their savings. The man pleaded guilty to conspiracy to steal. Other members of the ring also pleaded guilty to the same offence. Two gang leaders who sold fake passports that helped notorious murderers, gangsters, and drug traffickers flee the UK are behind bars. They sold the highly sought-after travel documents for between £5,000 and £20,000. The money-making scheme allowed high-profile fugitives to flee the UK. Over a 5-year period, the fraudulent passport scam allowed dangerous suspects to operate abroad and carry on orchestrating crimes in the UK. They used donors who were around the same age as their crooked clients and with similar facial features to apply for genuine passports in their names, but with the criminals' pictures. They were paid to hand over their expired passports, and their details were used to apply for new ones, but with photographs of their customers. Police said the gang also paid others to countersign passport applications. Vulnerable people, often with drink or drug problems, were exploited to be donors. One of the ringleaders was jailed for 8 years, while the other was sentenced to 6 years inside. Another member of their gang was handed a 3-year prison term. In 2023, one of the UK's most wanted tax fugitives, who was jailed for 8 years, had her sentence more than doubled after failing to pay back the millions she stole. She now faces 17 years in prison and will still owe $2.4 million plus interest for her part in a massive VAT fraud. She previously spent 9 years on the run abroad before she was captured and returned to the UK by HM Revenue and Customs in June 2022. She was then jailed for 8 years. During her time overseas, she is believed to have lived a life of luxury in Spain before she was nabbed. She played a pivotal role in a sophisticated multi-million-pound fraud and laundered extraordinary volumes of stolen money through offshore bank accounts. The gang she was part of set up numerous businesses claiming to be legitimately importing and selling mobile phones. She was captured after the Spanish Guardia Civil identified her in a village in the region of Tarragona. In 2023, she was sentenced to another 9 years in prison at City of London Magistrates Court for failing to pay the nearly £2.5 million confiscation order. Thanks for watching UK crime caught on camera on Shots. If you're watching us in Freeview, stay tuned for more authentic UK television curated from the hearts of British communities by journalists living in them. If you're anywhere else, please like, share us around, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Doing so helps us to keep creating content like this.